Ever wondered why sea urchins are so expensive? Let's embark on a journey to explore the world of these fascinating marine creatures and unravel the mystery behind their premium price tag. Sea urchins, or Echinoidea, are spiny, globular animals that inhabit our vast oceans. They're part of the echinoderm family, which also includes starfish and sea cucumbers. Resembling little round pincushions, they're covered with movable spines that serve as a defense mechanism against predators. These creatures come in various sizes and colors, from vibrant purples and reds to more muted shades of brown and black. Now you might be wondering, what's so special about these spiky sea dwellers? Well, it's not their outward appearance that demands such a high price. It's what's inside that counts. Sea urchins are prized for their roe, or eggs, known as uni in Japanese cuisine. This marine delicacy is renowned for its creamy, briny flavor that is often described as the very essence of the ocean. In the culinary world, sea urchin roe is considered a luxury item. It's a star ingredient in sushi, pasta, and other high-end dishes, gracing the menus of many Michelin-starred restaurants. The roe's unique taste and texture, coupled with its scarcity, command a hefty price, making sea urchins one of the most expensive seafoods on the market. But the story doesn't end there. Behind the sea urchin's high price point lies a complex web of factors, from the risks associated with harvesting to the impact of market demand. These aspects intertwine, pushing the price of sea urchins even higher. As we delve deeper into the world of sea urchins, we'll uncover the intricacies of their life cycle, the dangers that fishermen face to bring these spiny creatures to our plates, and the role of market forces in determining their cost. So if you've ever balked at the price of that sea urchin dish on the menu, this exploration might shed some light on why these marine gems are so precious. Stay tuned as we dive into the factors that contribute to the steep cost of these marine delicacies. One of the main contributors to the high cost of sea urchins is the harvesting process. Let's dive into the nitty-gritty of this, shall we? Harvesting sea urchins isn't like picking apples from a tree. It's a complex, dangerous, and skill-demanding process that takes place under the sea, where conditions are often harsh and unpredictable. Imagine this. You're a diver, kitted out in your gear, plunged into the chilly depths of the ocean. Your mission? To seek out and carefully extract the spiny creatures nestled between rocks and in crevices. It's a delicate task, requiring a keen eye, steady hands, and a deep understanding of the sea urchin's habitat. But the challenges don't stop there. Divers face a myriad of risks, from the ever-present threat of hypothermia to the potential encounters with predatory sea creatures. Every dive is a dance with danger. And let's not forget about the unpredictable weather conditions and the fickle nature of ocean currents. Now consider the impact of seasons. Sea urchin harvesting isn't a year-round affair, it's a seasonal business, with peak harvest times varying depending on the region. Outside of these periods, the supply dwindles, but the demand doesn't. This scarcity during off-peak times invariably drives up the price. Then there's the issue of sustainability. Over-harvesting can deplete sea urchin populations and disrupt marine ecosystems. Therefore, divers must adhere to strict guidelines to ensure they're not harvesting more than the environment can sustain. This careful management further limits the quantity of sea urchins that can be harvested, adding another layer to the cost. In a nutshell, the process of bringing sea urchins from the ocean floor to your plate is fraught with challenges. It's a high-stakes endeavor that demands skill, bravery, and a deep respect for the ocean and its inhabitants. The high risk and skill involved in harvesting significantly drive up the cost of sea urchins. After all, each sea urchin on your plate is a small testament to the daring and dexterity of the divers who risk their lives to bring you this delicacy. Another factor that adds to the sea urchin's hefty price tag is its rarity. Now, you might be wondering why these spiky sea creatures are so rare. Well, there are several reasons, and each one contributes to the high cost of sea urchins. Firstly, let's talk about overfishing. Sea urchins are a delicacy in many parts of the world, especially in places like Japan and the Mediterranean. The demand for these marine creatures is high, but the supply is relatively low. Overfishing has led to a significant decrease in the sea urchin population, making them harder to find and thus more expensive. Climate change is another factor that has affected the availability of sea urchins. Changes in ocean temperatures and acidity levels can lead to unfavorable conditions for sea urchins, causing a decline in their numbers. This environmental issue doesn't just affect sea urchins, but it's a major reason why they've become such a luxurious commodity. And then there's the matter of their specific habitat requirements. Sea urchins thrive in cold, clear, and nutrient-rich waters. They're not the kind of species that can adapt easily to different environments. They have very specific needs when it comes to their habitat, and if those needs aren't met, their survival is at risk. This in turn limits the places where sea urchins can be found and harvested, adding to their rarity. Finally, we should also consider the fact that sea urchins are not easy to farm. They require a high level of care and a suitable environment, which can be difficult and costly to provide. This means that most sea urchins available in the market are wild-caught, which further contributes to their scarcity and high price. All these factors, overfishing, climate change, specific habitat requirements, and the challenges of farming, contribute to the rarity of sea urchins. And as we know, the more rare a commodity, the higher its price, and sea urchins are no exception. Scene script. Sea urchins aren't just a meal, they're a culinary experience, and this is a major factor in their pricing. Imagine biting into a piece of the ocean itself. That's the sensation often described by those who venture to taste sea urchins. It's a flavor profile that is truly unique, an intriguing blend of briny, sweet, and creamy notes, all wrapped in a package that has an unparalleled texture. The taste of sea urchins, also known as uni, is often considered a gastronomic revelation. It's a delicacy in several cuisines, most notably in Japan, where it's a sushi staple, and in Mediterranean countries, where it's often enjoyed fresh from the sea. This wide culinary appeal has elevated the sea urchin to a status symbol, a dish that says, "I appreciate the finer things in life." The texture of sea urchins is just as unique as their flavor. It's a velvety, buttery sensation that melts in your mouth. It's a texture that can't be replicated, and it's part of the culinary adventure that is eating sea urchins. But here's the thing. Food isn't just about sustenance. It's about enjoyment, about culture, about shared experiences. And when a food item like the sea urchin delivers on all these fronts, it becomes more than just a meal. It becomes a desirable commodity, a luxury. The culinary value of sea urchins is a significant contributor to their price. They are not simply harvested and sold. They are meticulously prepared, often by skilled chefs who understand the delicate nature of these oceanic treasures. Every step in the process, from the sea to the plate, is handled with care to ensure that the final product is nothing short of exquisite. And so, when you pay for sea urchins, you're not just paying for the food itself. You're paying for the experience, the craftsmanship, the cultural significance, and the luxury status that comes with it. The unique culinary experience that sea urchins offer is another reason why they command such a high price. The market's demand for sea urchins also plays a significant role in their cost. Now, let's dive into this a little deeper. Sea urchins, these spiny little creatures of the deep, are a delicacy in many parts of the world. They're particularly sought after in high-end restaurants, where chefs transform them into culinary masterpieces. Their unique, briny taste, often described as the purest essence of the sea, has made them a favorite amongst gastronomes, who are willing to pay a premium for this luxury. This demand isn't just confined to local markets, it's a global phenomenon. In places like Japan, sea urchins, or uni, as they're known there, are a prized ingredient in sushi and sashimi. And with the rise of global food trends, the popularity of sea urchins has skyrocketed. As more and more people develop a taste for this marine delicacy, the demand continues to grow. But here's the catch. Sea urchins aren't as readily available as other seafood. They're not easily farmed, and their harvesting is a risky business, as we've discussed earlier. This means the supply is limited. And when you have increasing demand coupled with limited supply, what do you get? You guessed it, a jump in prices. Supply and demand, it's basic economics, right? But with sea urchins, it's not just about numbers. There's a cultural aspect to it as well. In many cultures, sea urchins are seen as a symbol of luxury and indulgence. They're often served at special occasions, and this cultural significance adds another layer to their demand and consequently their price. So it's a complex interplay of factors. The demand for sea urchins is influenced by culinary trends, international markets, and cultural factors. And with a limited supply, these factors all contribute to the high cost of sea urchins. As with any product, when demand outpaces supply, prices soar, and sea urchins are no different. So we've explored several factors that contribute to the high cost of sea urchins. Let's take a moment to summarize what we've learned so far. The harvesting process is a key driver of the high cost. Divers must venture into the deep sea, often in dangerous conditions, to hand-pick these spiky creatures. It's a risky business, requiring a high level of skill and a certain degree of courage. The labor-intensive nature of this process, coupled with the inherent risks, significantly drives up the price. The rarity of sea urchins is another factor. They're not as plentiful as other types of seafood. This scarcity, combined with their short season, makes them a rare delicacy, highly sought after in many parts of the world. When supply can't meet demand, prices naturally rise. Then there's the culinary value. Sea urchins aren't just any seafood, they're a luxury item. They're often served in high-end restaurants as a delicacy, known for their unique taste and texture. The edible part of the sea urchin, known as uni, is considered a gourmet treat. Its rich, buttery flavor and creamy texture are highly prized by food connoisseurs. This elevates its status and, of course, its price. The market demand for sea urchins is also a significant factor. They're extremely popular in many cuisines, especially in Japanese cuisine, where they're used in dishes like sushi and sashimi. As consumers' taste for exotic and luxury foods has grown, so too has the demand for sea urchins. And as we all know, when demand outstrips supply, prices are bound to soar. Each of these factors, the harvesting process, rarity, culinary value, and market demand, all play a role in the high cost of sea urchins. It's a complex interplay of economics, gastronomy, and the vagaries of nature. Understanding these factors gives us a clearer picture of why sea urchins are one of the most expensive seafood items you can buy. Sea urchins are a perfect example of how various factors can significantly influence the price of a product. Delving into the world of sea urchins, we've unraveled a complex tapestry that showcases the value of these spiky marine creatures. From the inherent risks involved in harvesting these delicacies, to the high regard they hold as a luxury commodity, every aspect contributes to their hefty price tag. The unique taste of the sea that sea urchins provide is a gastronomic experience that people are willing to pay a premium for. This demand, coupled with the impact of market forces, further escalates the price. And when we consider the true cost of sea urchins, factoring in sustainability and environmental concerns, we see even more clearly why these ocean gems command such a price. The seafood industry, as exemplified by sea urchins, is a complex and intricate system. With that, we hope you've gained some insight into why sea urchins are so expensive. Thanks for watching.